Being fat isn't a birth defect. Nobody comes out of the womb needing to buy 2 seats on the airplane. We have gone to this weird place where fat is good. It's pointing out that fat is unhealthy. That's what's bad.
And this term, we're using this term fat shaming. We've come up with a name for it. Let's be honest, fat shaming is just bullying. That's what it is, it's bullying. And bullying only makes the problem worse, okay? I don't think stuff like this is going to solve the obesity epidemic.
Today's most controversial issues: fat positivity. Is it enabling unhealthy behavior? Or is fat shaming just another form of bullying? Let's dive in.
No one should feel bad about opening up the pants after Thanksgiving dinner and doing that thing where you undo the top button and try to hold it together with just the belt. That's all fine. But not all year round. And that's what's kind of happened to America, letting ourselves go now as an all-year-round thing, doing the Thanksgiving pants thing every day. Fat shaming doesn't need to end, it needs to make a comeback. Some amount of shame is good.
Bill Maher, of all people, is setting the record straight that healthy at any weight is a complete lie, as eating whatever you want at all times is self-destructive. Fat positivity is encouraging obesity, which is a national crisis in the USA these days.
Fat activist Ted Kyle, founder of Conscious Health, says the media and public needs to stop catastrophizing obesity. Okay, A, they're not catastrophizing it, and B, they should be. Because it's a full-blown catastrophe. We've gone from fat acceptance to fat celebration. Healthy at any weight is an unchallenged lie.
He continues to say that it's not just about personal health, but a public health crisis affecting everything from healthcare costs to military readiness. In a rebuttal to fat-shaming remarks by Maher, James Corden, the English comedian, responded in a witty remark.
Fat shaming is just bullying. That fat shaming only does one thing: it makes people feel ashamed. And shame leads to depression, anxiety, and self-destructive behavior. Self-destructive behavior like overeating. When I watched that clip, I got up, walked to the freezer, and grabbed a pint of ice cream.
He believes fat shaming never truly disappeared. It's a daily reminder for many, making them feel both judged and belittled as lazy or unintelligent. We agree that fat shaming won't solve the obesity epidemic, but will fat acceptance help the cause? This is quite a heated debate, but Bill Maher doesn't think so. About 41% of the US population is obese, with a high risk of developing cancer and heart disease. But who cares? Some just want to eat donuts and be a good-for-nothing bum. Take a look at how he mocks the young fat generation.
There's a popular t-shirt that says, "I don't owe no man a flat stomach." Okay, no one said you did. You do you. But you're not a freedom fighter because you want to keep eating donuts. No one should feel bad about opening up the pants after Thanksgiving dinner and nevertheless promote people who are plainly not into fitness.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not all he said. He even compared Gen Z obesity with the 1960s generation of slim Americans. Sure, the world's problems have shifted, but let's be real, comfort eating wasn't always the go-to. Even Jordan Peterson, the famous Canadian psychologist and best-selling author of 12 Rules for Life, doesn't agree that fat acceptance is normal.
People have been getting fatter in a catastrophic way for about 4 or 5 decades, and that's really in no small part since the introduction of the food pyramid.
Americans need to understand that affordability doesn't always dictate nutrition. Education and awareness matter too. But if we actually started glorifying cellulite rather than trying to cut it, the world will retaliate. And now big clothing and accessory brands like Nike and Victoria's Secret, which promote healthy bodies, have XXL sizes to cater to the humongous.
Companies like Nike, Sports Illustrated, Victoria's Secret, companies that are specifically about fitness, nevertheless promote people who are plainly not into fitness.
Honestly, it's discrimination that they can't build wider aisles in airplanes 2023, is what this model said when she struggled to walk on the airplane aisle because they were too narrow. People online are telling her, oh, it's your body, your responsibility, oh, probably just lose some weight, and oh, you're so entitled. I get it. We all want to be comfortable. But unfortunately, the world cannot just adjust for each and every single one of us. We were all meant to struggle, and it's our responsibility to decide how to face them.
Both Nike and Victoria's Secret faced backlash for their campaigns promoting inclusivity with plus-size mannequins and models, respectively. Critics argued that Nike's plus-size mannequins were normalizing obesity, with some social media users calling them a dangerous lie and accusing the brand of encouraging unhealthy lifestyles. Comments like showing customers how awful they'd look sparked heated online debates. Bill Maher thinks it's time we stop blaming struggles for piling up the plates. Hardships, whether financial or health-related, have always been a part of life.
But somehow 50 years ago, this country looked entirely different. You don't think it was a struggle for them? You think cake wasn't delicious in 1969?
The food was delicious then and now, but what the new generation lacks is eating with self-discipline. That's all it takes to be fit and healthy. Bill Maher mocks why science has still not discovered the cure to obesity. Take a look.
Science hasn't yet figured out how to solve obesity.
Let's be honest, science is not responsible for curing your fatness. It's your diet and lifestyle. What goes in your mouth determines your body mass. It's simple logic. According to geneticist Dr. Jeffrey Friedman, a hormone called leptin, if defected, is linked to obesity. But he jokingly adds that fat-shaming the hormone will not fix itself.
Here's a fun fact. If you shame the gene, it actually fixes itself. I'm kidding. That's not how science works. There are numerous reasons why people live their lives at an unhealthy weight. Junk food, portion control, a lack of exercise, these are all major contributing factors.
Well, he didn't stop there. He sarcastically pointed out that if fat-shaming were the ultimate solution, no children in school would be overweight.
If making fun of fat people made them lose weight, there'd be no fat kids in schools, and I'd have a six-pack by now.
Fat-shaming kids? Absolutely should be a crime in our book. But fat-shaming adults? That's a deliberate choice, and one we should know better than to make. Corden revealed an interesting study showing that poverty is one of the many reasons for obesity.
Poverty is also an issue. A study conducted by the University of Michigan Health System found that childhood obesity is directly linked to poverty.
We agree that obesity and poverty are interlinked, like a vicious cycle of unhealthy food and limited options to break free. But, obesity isn't just a poverty issue. Personal choices play a massive role. Whatever the reasons for obesity, be it genetics or diet, the obesity crisis in the USA has become alarmingly widespread, affecting millions and straining both public health and healthcare systems. The public's divided. Maher's fans call him brutally honest, while Corden's supporters love his empathy. Let's check out what people are saying.
Just because you're fat doesn't mean you're lazy and unhealthy.
Every time I have a doctor's appointment, magically in my head I'm like, I'm gonna have to get on a scale. I'm gonna have to get on a scale. Please, please, God.
Oh my God, enough with the fat around the organs. That is not a real thing. It is made up.
You need your license revoked. And Tammy Slayton, you done fucked up.
Just because you're obese, you must overeat. You must have an eating disorder. I know that not to be the case.
I know. I've been in this body for a decade. I know when people are talking about me, and I know when people are laughing at me.
One of their female employees, Jessie, Jennifer, J something, is disgustingly obese, and although she is very polite, instantly makes my appetite disappear. I don't like my children thinking they will look that way by eating too much ice cream.
I'm human, that kind of stuff. It does hurt to hear that kind of stuff about yourself.
At the end, we believe James Corden's parting response to Maher was quite appropriate.
But in the meantime, Bill, please hear me when I say this. While you're encouraging people to think about what goes into their mouths, just think a little harder about what comes out of yours.
Well, what do you think? Is fat positivity a movement for acceptance, or has it gone too far? Can we address obesity without resorting to shame? I certainly think so, but let us know what you think in the comments below.